This ain't no echo chamber. We're unlocking any chain. The devil's advocate speaking, cutting through the fog. Let us explain. Yeah.
Pull up, turn the volume, let the bass ignite. Devil's advocates, that's the channel. Together we fight. They ain't here to echo what the masses preach. They challenge beliefs, putting truth within reach. Flip the script, reverse the lens, ain't no fear to provoke. Unpopular opinions, watch the stagnant water smoke. They dissect the narratives, poke holes in the facade. Sharpening the mind, ain't no truth they'll disregard.
This ain't no echo chamber. We're unlocking any chain. Devil's advocate speaking, cutting through the fog. Let us explain.
See the description hit hard, that's the blueprint to code. Not everyone likes it, but that's the path they strode. Challenging beliefs, that's the mission to aim. Flipping tables on conventional, fanning intellectual flames. Stepping opposing view, not for conflicts embrace, but to sharpen the blade of truth. Leave no logical trace of error or bias or thoughts that just float. They dig to the core, let the arguments blow with substance and reason, not just empty retort. They building up thinkers, a mental fortress of fort.
This ain't no echo chamber. We're unlocking any chain. Devil's advocate speaking, cutting through the fog. Let us explain.
You don't go by always being right, that's a stagnant pool. Growth comes from questioning, breaking every rigid rule. Honest conversations, bold questions, a few uncomfortable facts. They lay it all bare, no turning back, no looking back. Seeking clarity or good debate, either way you win. They push you to understand where your own thoughts begin.
So hit that subscribe button, let the knowledge unfurl.
The devil's advocates,
Changing your whole world.
yeah, it might make you squirm, but that's how you transcend. Listen to the devil's advocates till the very end.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to know why I'm here today? It's not because I want to give you a pep talk or because I want to make you feel good about yourselves. No, I'm here to tell you the truth.
Hey, welcome to Friday. Hey, it almost rhymes. Hey, welcome to Friday. Oh, I don't even have my lights on. Holy crap. Look, does that matter? Do I need to turn on? Look at how unprepared I am for a Friday. Let me get some studio lighting going. Oh, there we go. I don't even know if that makes a difference or if that helps, or now I look all freaking whatever. Got some football gear on, got the weekend coming up, football season's going, we got preseason going, pretty excited about that. I'm going to try to move our Fridays. By the way, I want to say hi to our few little people. I don't know what it is. YouTube's still kicking me in the nuts and not wanting to promote our show to anybody. So those who come here on a regular basis, thank you so much. And so we've got Robin, of course. She's backstage right now. I've got her muted. So right now she's probably pissing and moaning and I can't hear her. So whatever you want to say, I'll get you up here in a minute. Regina, thanks for coming in and saying hi. Kimberly, as always, a mod in the house. 1-1 as well. Cheryl Fitzgerald. It seems like you come and go. I seem like I was going to say I haven't seen you for a while, but I think I did see you last week. But sometimes it's good to see you again. And I was going to say I haven't seen you for a while, but I think you might have been here last week as well. So thanks for coming in again, Cheryl. Anyways, and it's been a crazy week. Essie, thank you again as well for coming. My regulars have been, and I would think that one would be tired of listening to my ass. Like I've been putting out a lot of content already. Penny, welcome. Good evening. Thanks for coming in. Gamble as well, Jay Gamble in the house. So thank you so much for checking out Lofty. Howdy, Lofty. How are you doing? I don't even recognize that name. Maybe you're a newer person. By the way, if you're ever new here and it's your first live that you're catching or anything like that, please let me know because I will pay Robin and I will pay special attention. In fact, why don't I give Robin a microphone so that she can talk? Are you there, Robin?
I am here. How's everybody?
Nice. So Robin helps out with audio moderation. Fortunately, and not fortunately, because we have hardly any audience, it seems like it's going to be super easy for Robin to do her job. My goal is to make Robin's job miserable so that it is hard for her to keep up with everybody in the chat. But right now, it's super easy for us to keep up. And I appreciate your help nonetheless. We're getting everybody trained into the way things are going to work in the future. I think big things are on the horizon for the channel, for those who care, because we've got John Ray that we just recently interviewed. We got Josh Zeman coming up, big names in the Long Island serial killer case. We'll talk about that a little bit. Fridays, I'm kind of moving us towards kind of like this idea of the Freaky Friday and the Devil's Den idea. The idea is this is kind of the week in review. I want to talk a little bit of what I've done, videos you may have missed for the week. And wind into the weekend with maybe some crime time after dark, telling you about some crime stories that I'm paying attention to or that have caught my interest in the news. Just kind of, it's not really going to be real structured. So on the bad part for you, if you're only interested in one of my cases, like only Idaho 4, I'm going to take questions from any case. If you're watching a case on Friday nights, it's going to be free for all. So if you want to ask a Luigi question, a Rex Heuermann question, a John Ray question, it's funny, I had to put John Ray in the same category as a bunch of people that are doing crimes, but that's probably not a good thing to do. Anyways, point being, you can talk about whatever you want. I'm watching in the chat. Kimberly's excited about something. I don't know what the hell you're excited about, but hopefully we can have a good weekend. I'm going to put up on screen my stuff that I can look at. Let me remove that old thing there and put this on the screen. So there is my website, thedevilsadvocates.info. This site has not really taken off. I've got some visual problems on the site, so we're working on that, but I wanted to scroll down and show you. Well, first of all, I want you to see across the top, we've got a Idaho 4 section, a Luigi Mangione section, and a LISK, Long Island serial killer. So right now, the Devil's Advocates focuses on 3 cases. Those are the primary cases. Each one of those links will take you to a timeline. I'm working on trying to find some time in my life to update the timeline. I started out with a strong timeline, and now I just have had a hard time keeping up. Because freaking Idaho 4, you thought that case was done. Idaho 4 keeps dropping documents. I still have 500 pages to read of the Idaho State Police in that case. And I did reviews, a couple hours of reviews on those documents. I did 19 hours of the Moscow Police Department. I don't know at this point whether or not you guys all think that's old news. Maybe I'm so late to the Idaho State Police things that you don't care to hear my opinions on the rest of the 500 pages. But it's on my to-do list because I feel like I'm going to probably suss out something other people didn't catch. I feel like I catch little details about things that other people don't necessarily focus on. At the point that I'm just parroting everything that everybody else says, then I will stop doing it. Because if I have nothing new to say, you don't need to hear another person say it. But hopefully I will do that. There's new crime scene photos that came out. There was a new freaking in Idaho 4 that was the freaking body worn camera of officers that responded to the crime scene. 1 hour of video footage that was released to the public. And I broke that down. It took me 3 hours to cover 1 hour of the body worn footage. And I have been exhausted. And now there's new photos people are talking about in the chat where there's bullet holes. Yes, there appears to be bullet holes on the side of the house. There have been long rumors that somebody fired a gun. Bethany heard a firecracker or something like that, saw a flash under her door. People have thought that that was a gun going off. Now people are showing photos of what looks like bullet holes on the side of the house. And the house was torn down, so we'll never know.
Thank you, Leah.
Yeah, Leah, thank you so much for the gift. Appreciate the support. Happy Friday to you as well. Thank you so much for getting us started off on a good thing. I'm gonna need a little extra cash. I got CrimeCon coming up. CrimeCon is going to be an exciting thing. I'm so freaking busy. Oh my gosh, so busy. Anyways, what else do I want to tell you? So here's my website. I wanted to scroll down. Every single Sunday, I try to update this website so that you know what the week ahead looks like. So now we're looking back. This is what happened. Birdie Bombshell and I had a good show, a really good show, high attendance on that show with Birdie Bombshell and I. I had a video on Mondays. I'm trying to focus. So this was actually on Tuesday. Sorry. On Monday is going to be Idaho 4 or Birdie Bombshell. And then we've got Tuesday's Luigi Mangione. So I had a live about that. Then Wednesday, we covered the Long Island serial killer. Like I said, I've got 3 cases that I cover. John Ray was the focus because I was about to interview John Ray. Actually, I think I had interviewed John Ray the time that I did this live. I had. What a great interview that was. It's in the can, and we're trying to find a way to make sure that we promote it. September 10th is going to be the premiere of this interview. It's a really, really good interview. There was at least 4 bombs, in my opinion, that John Ray released to us on that show that I had never heard before. A couple of which I'm not even sure John has ever said to anyone before. So super excited to do that. Birdie Bombshell and I are going to collaborate on that premiere, meaning that we're going to, and listen to this carefully if you're interested at all in the Long Island serial killer case. And Lady K, thank you for the super sticker so much. Appreciate that. If you're interested in the Long Island serial killer case, John Ray is prepared to come on. He's planning on coming on with Birdie Bombshell and I on September 10th. Birdie and I are going to air that interview I did. It was an hour and 10, 20 minutes, somewhere around there. We're going to air that interview in its entirety. John Ray will be on hand. He may be on hand during the actual premiere of the interview as well, but he's certainly going to be on hand at the end for questions and answers. So anything you saw in that interview that you're like, oh my God, I want to hear more about that, there was some big things that John talked about. So wait till you hear it. And if you are a member at a certain tier level, you're already getting access to look at that interview. So the interview is in the can. I might do a little bit more editing, but the long form video is already there for members to look at. If you're a member at the Demons level. And again, by the way, you've heard about my Substack. Maybe this is my Substack, The Devil's Docket. So I'm gonna come back to our main page, but the Devil's Docket is a place where it's more written format. You get emails. I have an article that I just wrote called "The Devil is in the Details." This is going to be my new moniker, my new slogan for my show. I feel like it really fits. The Devil's Advocates, the Devil's in the Details, because I dive into things and I really get into the detail of stuff. I wrote an article explaining why there's the devil theme. Hey, Devil's Advocates, why is there so much devil stuff? Why do you have imps level and demons levels and devils levels of your memberships? And why do you go on with murder, metal, mayhem? It's so dark, so evil. Why are you so freaking evil, Devil's Advocate? So I addressed this a little bit, explaining it is nothing to do with some obsession of evil. Although if you saw my tattoo that they got designed, you're going to still think that there's something freaking seriously wrong with me. We'll have a philosophical or religious discussion anytime you want to. Let's just not do it on this channel. The point being is that the real reason for the Devil's Advocates is playing Devil's Advocate, which is that when you are dug in and you think you know exactly what happened, I will come along and say, well, wait a minute, let's play Devil's Advocates with that. If it's so obvious Brian Koberger killed all 4 of those college students, then why did it take 8 hours for Bethany and Dylan to call 911? Why did this hit? And so that's what Devil's Advocates do. They play Devil's Advocates with the official position. Oftentimes the mainstream media tells us what happened in the case, and we have to go and ask tougher questions. That's what I do with the Devil's Advocate. So if you haven't checked it out, check out the Substack. I do written articles. I'm trying to get into more of a habit. I'm trying to get routine. I'm a routine kind of guy. So I'm working on routines. All right. I'm not even saying routine right. Anyways. I guess, let's see. What else? Let's take have anything come in while I'm rambling? I'm going to continue to go on this.
Well, one thing I did want to mention is back here, Samantha. This is her first live. And she's actually, it's 3 a.m. where she is.
Oh, so, my gosh. If it's 3 a.m. and I'm trying to look for her name on here. You said Samantha, right here?
Yeah, Samantha. Yeah, she's from over the pond.
I'm trying to look for her first comment. So here's the deal, Samantha.
Netherlands. She's in the Netherlands.
Netherlands. I heard get this. I heard the Netherlands was voted the most, the country with the most freedom, the most freedom. The Netherlands had, if you love freedom, it's the Netherlands. And I find that ironic, since the United States is supposed to be all about freedom. Why is it that Netherlands was listed as the best place to go if you want freedom? So Samantha, you have the show, in the sense that I love when new people come on. If you've got a burning question of any kind, we will be looking for that. Robin's going to look for it and make sure that we pin it up there and answer your question as a hey, thanks for being a first timer. I wanted to, I know that Essie had said that she watched that interview with John Ray and said it was an excellent interview. Thank you so much for that. Let's see what else. I was going through here. I want to hear your opinion on Idaho 4, Luigi, and LISK. Well, I got a lot of opinions, and that's a scatter shot right there. What did, oh yeah, and then Robin pinned my shop. We're going to cover that in just a second as well. Just trying to catch up on some things. Lady K, did I address Lady K in this? Did I already do this? Thank you so much for that. Maybe I already did, but thank you if I didn't catch that already. Awesome interview. Okay, we got that. Just catching up.
Chappie's at it again.
Who? Chappie's at it again?
Yeah, Chappie boss.
How can there be, I'm still covering my website. We'll get back to this in a minute. Delphius says, how can there be unknown male blood DNA in the Idaho house, but law enforcement says there's no other perps? Make that make sense. You cannot make that shit make sense. They literally, when Ann Taylor asked the attorney for Brian Koberger, when she asked why they didn't test the blood on unknown male B and D, there was blood outside on a glove as well. When she basically asked them why they didn't test it, they basically told her, well, because we already knew it was Brian Koberger, because of the DNA in the knife sheath, there was no reason to test any other blood. That shows you how moronic that investigation was. They didn't even need to look for alternative suspects. And we don't even have to have alternative. Why not additional perpetrators? Who said that Brian Koberger did it alone if he did? They just stopped looking. Once they decided they had one guy, they stopped looking. And it's a shoddy investigation. It does not make sense why you just ignore blood evidence at a crime scene. Also, it doesn't make sense that they ruled out people saying that there was no evidence of them being in the house. People like ex-boyfriends or whatever, who their DNA is all over that house. By definition, they hung out over there. They were there all the time. Their DNA is all over that house. So you can't say, well, that person's DNA wasn't at the house. Yes, it was at the house. I guarantee you. Their DNA is all over that house. So if you want to say it's not relevant, that's fine. But saying they didn't have their DNA there, that's garbage. Of course their DNA is there. They've hung out, they've partied there. Their DNA is in that house. Let's see what else we got. They blacked out so much in the body cam, they're still hiding shit. Yes. Now, to play devil's advocates, because that's what I do, I got to thinking about why did they black out Dylan's room or Azana's room or some other things? Well, part of me thought some of the like Dylan and Bethany are constantly redacted. The survivors were constantly redacted. We didn't get to hear their names. We don't get to hear their names during the interview, even though everybody in America knows who they are and they're poster childs for this case. We still don't get to hear their name or see their name in redacted documents, and therefore everything along with them, like Dylan's bedroom and whatever, could be potentially blocked. Although crime scene photos are coming out now, as I understand, that have Dylan's bedroom. So why it was blocked out in the body worn camera, I thought I had an answer for you. I do not have an answer for you. So screw that. I'm out. All right. Chappie Boss dropping money on me on the weekend. Thank you so much. What's up, disciples? 12-hour, 100 workday in Roseburg, Oregon. Yeah, Roseburg, Oregon. Holy shit, DA pulled a hamstring and the WTF part of my brain with my body cam vid. Yeah, with the body cam vid. Yeah, the body cam vid was enormously crazy. I did 3 hours. I bet you Chappie watched all 3 hours, but I don't know. But hey, so I hope that you're doing okay. I hope you didn't really pull a hamstring. Hope that's just humor, because you are a funny motherfucker. All right. See, that's why I got the parental advisory in the corner, because I say some shit that I probably shouldn't say. I'm not always going to have the parental advisory, but I kind of like the way it looks. I grew up when the music that I listened to had to have a sticker that looked just like that on all the music labels that had explicit music lyrics, because I was a bad boy and I would buy albums that had some pretty bad stuff in it. All right. I was never a bad boy, by the way. I'm being facetious. All right. Did you see the bullet holes? People are talking about the bullet holes still in the Idaho 4 case. Chappie, let's see. I'm just going to get caught. Go Hawks. Thank you so much. Yes, go Hawks. I mean, I'm still, we're waiting for the coach to put together a great team. It's his second year. This is when he's going to do it, right? We're going to make a move. This is going to be it. It's going to be a while, but we got to get this going. And it's so weird. Wasn't it so weird watching preseason open up with Pete Carroll on the other side of the sidelines? Okay, enough of that. This is a true crime show, not a football show, even though I got my gear on. All right, what else do we got? Samantha went to the toilet. That is that. Look, I highlighted that. You went to the toilet, and everyone in America knows it. Okay, the 36 of us, not a lot here, but thank you for sharing. Thank you for oversharing, Samantha. I warned you about how you're going to get called out and pinned on the show. There you go. You had it. All right. So, what else? So the Netherlands, we talked about that. The Netherlands is okay, but as everywhere, government is bad. Right. Every government has got issues. So I'm not disillusioned with that.
Essie brought up a good point. She was saying about how the cops seem to be touching everything, sliding their hands up and down the railings and all kinds of stuff like that.
There was a lot of stuff that they didn't do right. And their excuse is Moscow, Idaho doesn't have a lot of homicide and it's hardly ever a thing. And so therefore they were just woefully unprepared for this. Their cops weren't properly trained in crime scene handling or something to that effect. But yeah, there was a lot of things they did wrong on that. And I didn't even point that out in my 3 hours of videos. I didn't even point out the sloppy hand touching. I pointed out other things like clearing the house without getting into a closet that's still locked. They had every right to break that door down to make sure somebody was not secreted into the closet that was maybe the killer still in the house. They could have broken that door down without a warrant, in my opinion. In that circumstance, they're clearing a house they're walking into a horrific scene. They had every right to break that door down, and why they left the door closed was one of my questions. But I didn't focus in on some of the other things you guys did. Everybody sees something different, which is why it's cool to watch other people's stuff. I can't even get back to my own. I started out with showing a bit about my website. Now here I am, but I wanted to focus on the audience, so let's do that still. Was it really on the first floor stairs? There was blood on the half wall on the other side of the beer pong table. If you're talking about was it really like the unknown male blood? I thought was on the first floor stair. I said that in the video, and I didn't know if somebody confirmed it for me, but I believe it was on the first floor banister where the blood was found. But yeah, and this one, oh God, this one. The media crap of Koberger cleaning his car and throwing garbage in the neighbor's trash was all a lie. I haven't even read that yet. I heard about it, and one said, yeah, dude, you're going to blow your mind. It's absolutely in the Idaho documents that you haven't got to yet. Everyone in America, in my opinion, started to convict Brian Koberger in the court of public opinion when they said that just before his arrest, they caught him in the middle of the night at 1 something in the morning, sorting trash into little plastic baggies and then walking over to the neighbor's trash to put it in there. And he was cleaning his car with latex gloves on. And everyone said, that motherfucker's guilty. He's cleaning the car of evidence and he's hiding evidence in the neighbor's trash. Now it turns out none of that shit was true, but America was already convicting Brian Koberger in the court of public opinion. No explanation for that kind of behavior in their opinion. And now it turns out it didn't happen. I have to read it for myself, but that's what they're telling me. And many people have said, yeah, that's what you're going to hear. You're going to hear that the whole thing didn't happen. But we spread it all over the news and everybody repeated it. And everyone had been convinced Koberger was guilty from day one because of that. In my opinion. Audio redactions on the body-worn camera were terrible. I agree. They constantly cut out parts that you want to know why the hell did I cut that out. The entire house. I know we're talking a lot about Idaho 4, so those of you who are LISK or here, I'm on screen with oh, that was still Idaho 4. Okay, I'm okay. I thought we were on screen with LISK in the background and we're talking about Idaho 4. But yeah, the entire house was deep cleaned. I lost my mind when Dylan told the police officer, well, I don't think you're going to find the killer's DNA because we deep cleaned. and I about pissed myself. I bet, did Dylan just say that? And then the cop was like, what do you mean you deep cleaned? Well, yeah, it's like, parents' weekend at the college. Yeah, so you would have cleaned before the killings. Oh yeah, we cleaned before the killings. It was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? You literally, I don't think you're going to find the killer's DNA. We cleaned up. I don't know if I read that wrong, but I lost my mind when I saw that. Let's see. I'm looking for some comments. I'm trying to get caught up so I can go on with my my plan for the night. They redacted every bedroom for privacy reasons because they're getting sued by the Mogans and the Chapins. Yes, they are. I don't know that they're getting sued. There was a, well, yes, they are getting sued. I think they were getting sued. I want to say that they got basically a restraining order. That's all it was, a restraining order that said they didn't want them to come forward with bodies, pictures of the bodies of their children. And I didn't know that the Chapins joined. I knew that the Mogans had done that, but I didn't know the Chapins had joined. So that's new to me. Look, I'm so far behind. How can they accept Dylan's statement? She made 8 different ones. I know, but they somehow love it. They ate it up. They put her on they raised $105,000 for her last I heard. All right. And Kimberly watched all 3 hours of my breakdown. I'm getting caught up for frick's sake, and then we can go on. Yeah, and so like here's that Essie. I finally caught up to Essie's comment. Yes, the cops started going through the house, touching so much. They slid their hands up and down railings. They cleared the house after they've already been through it once, shaking my fucking head. Anyway, so yeah. I'm just looking here. Turn on your gift memberships. One says, and one is reminding you, if you haven't done so, and hopefully I haven't missed that somebody's already dropped it, make sure that if you're on your computer screen in the lower right corner, there's a little $sign. You want to check that, but you want to click on that and make sure that you have the option. Somewhere in those options is an option to allow yourself to receive gifts, because oftentimes one and others will drop memberships, free memberships that cost them money. They have to pay for it. They're paying for the membership for you, but you only get it if you've got turned on to allow yourself to receive gifts. It's totally free to you, no commitment whatsoever. At the end of that free 1 month look at our member only content, you will have the option to continue getting it if you want. I don't believe it just automatically happens. In case you're worried, I'm pretty sure it does not automatically happen. You have to buy in. In other words, it's not like you're getting suckered into giving your credit card information and they're going to start auto billing you. I think that's not the case. If I'm wrong, let me know. But when I looked into it, that was what I was worried about. I hate that shit. I hate when you sign up for something and then they just hope that you'll forget about it and you get charged. I don't think that's the case. I think you have to actually opt in when your time runs out to stay in it. So
there he goes.
What happened?
There he goes. All those memberships.
They're dropping. There's like 15 gifts that got handed out. So if you have those things turned on, you're in good shape. It looks like both. It looks like holy, I can't even. Yeah,
Crystal, she sent memberships too.
Crystal White dropped 5. 1 dropped 10. So you guys are getting 15 potential free memberships in there. It's a great way to end a Friday. It's a great way to go into the weekend with some free content. By the way, since they just dropped all those memberships, and I know you're not going to necessarily care about this, but I want to tell you, one of the things I'm going to try, and I want to do a test trial tonight, by the way. So if members can help me with this, and by the way, there's some brand new members. If members can help me with this, I'm going to try my first stream after tonight's show of a member only live. Now, it's not going to be a big live and we're not going to talk for a long time, but I want to see if only members can get into the member only live. The reason being is that tomorrow I have a major tattoo appointment with Dead Gods Tattoo, who's going to do a Devil's Advocates themed tattoo all over this arm. They're going to eventually work it into a full sleeve on this arm. Why at my age I'm getting tattoos, I don't know, but I've got several tattoos. They're addictive. I always said I was going to get one again, and now is the time. And as I started to talk to them about being a true crime podcaster, YouTuber, they were like, oh my God, this is so cool. We'll do this badass piece for you. We'll cut you a break and we'll do this big, huge thing, a big production. They're going to bring a crew in to film it. I'm going to film it. I'm going to maybe stream it to our members so that you can check in throughout the day if you want to and just be like, I wonder how Devil's Advocates tattoo is going. Oh, that poor bastard's crying again like a little bitch. You can do that if you want to. So that's probably not going to happen. But the point being is we'll get to test my pain tolerance because that could be a 9-hour tattoo and that's brutal. But anyways, for members only, I'm going to test that out tonight to make sure that member stream works. And then the idea is that from the tattoo shop tomorrow, starting at noon Pacific Standard Time, around that time, we're going to turn on, hopefully, the live stream for members to just drop in and out if you want to see how that progress is going. I'll try to put the camera on the tattoo artists on my arm. They're prepared to do that. I've got 2 artists that are going to work on me because one is good at one thing and the other one's good at another. They're going to collaborate together to give me a badass tattoo, which I don't even know what it looks like. I told them an idea. I gave them a concept. I'm going in there blind. A lot of tattoo artists don't like you to see their work ahead of time because they're afraid you're going to rip it off and go take it to somebody else to get done cheaper or something like that. So you go in there and you're like, that's what it is. Do you like it or not? Because we're about to put it on your skin. So let's hope that works out good. All right. So What else do we got? Thanks, by the way, again to Crystal White. Thank you so much, Crystal White and 11 for dropping those gifts. You guys are amazing, amazing supporters of the show all the time. You really, really believe in me because this channel isn't even big yet, and you guys are like all in on this show, hoping that I'm hoping that I can do you justice and that this will be a really big thing, and you're going to be part of it from day one. All right, what else do we got? Did I miss anything? I'm trying to get caught up to the chat. I'm looking.
I think you're pretty much caught up. Some people were commenting on the tattoo, which I can't wait to see either.
Look at this idea for a tattoo. You should get a tattoo, I think is what they're saying, that says, "I'm friends with Bill Thompson." Yeah, I'm friends with Bill Thompson. We'll get that straightened out. Anyways. Do I already have tattoos? Yes, I have. I have one up here. I've got one that you've seen probably maybe a lot on camera over here. This is a big Alice in Wonderland thing. It's the white rabbit. I've got one that's not made for TV right here about Alice in Wonderland. Somebody called her a naughty Alice. It's not that bad. But the point being is that I've got some Alice in Wonderland. I've got a few tattoos. I got one on my ankle. And now I'm going to add a big piece here to kind of match this piece over here. And we'll see how it goes. My original theme when I started getting tattoos was I was going to do one arm in Alice in Wonderland and tarot card kind of stuff because that's a long story. And the other arm was going to be dark, kind of gothic type stuff, which is going to be with the Devil's Advocates theme now as well. So I'm doing it. I'm going to just do it. Put some ink on my body before I die so that they can identify my body when I'm in the bushes. And they'll be like, yes, I know that's Devil's Advocate's body, even though his face has been mutilated because he's got the Devil's Advocate's tattoo I saw him get done on the live show. I'm dark. And yeah, all right. What else? Yeah, see, Kimberly has the itch to get a tattoo. Once you get a tattoo, you want to get another one. It's the weirdest freaking thing. They're super weird, addictive in a weird way. It's like you're signing up for pain. Bill Thompson's my spirit animal. That's awesome. Okay, we are caught up. We are caught up for the moment. So continuing on, Freaky Friday, that's what we're doing now. There's the After Dark show. I don't know if I'm going to do After Dark, and here's the only reason why I don't know if I'm going to do After Dark tonight. I've got to get up at the butt crack of dawn and drive 5.5 hours to my tattoo appointment. So I got to get to bed early tonight. I can't drink. I don't want to be into drinking. I don't want to put any blood thinners in my body. So I've been lotioning up and hydrating with water. I'm doing care of the skin, trying to prep myself for a tattoo, and that's all I'm focused on right now is getting that thing knocked in the bag. All right. When I die, I'll still be jaw jacking, probably from the grave. Like, that motherfucker never stops talking from the grave. Right. That's probably true. All right, let's go to. I wanted to show you a little bit about the weekend review. Keep looking for comments, Robin, and let me know if I need to take a peek at something here. Drink. By the way, people, I'm getting tattoo advice. Drink lots of water. Doing that. Check. I've been doing that for 4 days. Eat a good meal before you go. Check. That's what the tattoo artist said. The weirdest thing that he said, though, about the eating a meal, by the way, as a side tangent, was make sure to eat a real greasy breakfast. And I thought to myself, why is he asking for greasy breakfast? I don't think it has to do with skincare. I think it has to do with more satiating yourself so that you're not hungry, so that you're not trying to stop them for dinner in the middle of your tattoo because they want to go for like 8 hours. So I think they want just something to stick with you, some high protein, some fat that's going to make you full and last for the whole tattoo session. That's what I think is the case. Anyways. Yeah, by the way, I know we're talking a lot about tattoos. I told the tattoo artist, I said, I feel a little embarrassed. I'm a 55-year-old man getting a tattoo. What the hell's wrong with me? And the guy said, when I first started tattooing, my first guy was 91 years old. So I guess you never have to stop getting tattoos if you don't want to. All right, let's look at the week in review. I just wanted to share a few things for people who are not familiar with what we do at the Devil's Advocates. So let's look back about 7 days. I went to go see the movie Weapons. I talked about that. That's rare for me to just share. It was a members only. So look at that. This is the kind of thing you see on members only. Would I talk about the movie Weapons on the main channel? No, it doesn't really relate to true crime per se. And I did talk a little bit about some of my thoughts about the Idaho State Police. So I did work that in, but it was a members only because it really wasn't pertaining to our channel. That's some of the kind of stuff I do behind the scenes. I talked about This was the big one, proof of Dylan's involvement. The Idaho State Police deep dive. I did an hour and 46 minutes on part 1 of that this week. That's just covering those 600 pages released by the Idaho State Police. And there were bombs in there. There was bombs in there, including that one where Dylan says, oh, by the way, I don't think you're going to find the killer's DNA because we cleaned up. I still can't say that with a straight face. That was in there. All right. So, also for members only, every single week I write letters to the inmates in the cases that I follow. I do letters to Luigi, letters to Brian Koberger, and letters to Rex Heuermann. None of them have written back to me, in case you're asking, but I'm writing to those. By the way, we're going to talk, if we have a little bit of time tonight, about the Son of Sam. There's a new documentary coming out about the Son of Sam. They talk about that issue, about whether or not the public should we reach out to killers and get their story? Are we glorifying the killers by doing that? Or does it help us understand killers and maybe not make that mistake next time? So that's kind of why I write these letters. It gives us an opportunity to learn the men behind the crimes. It won't always be men. I'll guarantee you a woman's coming up soon. And not that I'm giving you a teaser, but women commit murders as well. It's not going to always be men. So the story behind the crimes, like we just had, who we just have just recently, Karen Reed. We had Lori Vallow, right? Yeah. So we've already had women recently, but yeah, that happens. And then of course, I had this members only thing. I had it members only. I said it was the darkest theory. It talked about Dylan. Did she know Brian Koberger? And the reason it's dark is we talked about whether or not it's possible she could have had some kind of fantasy about having horrible things happen to her roommates. And that might've been some kind of thing that she was into. That's kind of dark. That's kind of dark for the show. So I left that as let's not really talk about that like I'm some kind of crazy conspiracy theories. It's an idea that I put together and I showed you why, but it was like, again, this is not necessarily something I want to put out there for the mainstream public. I felt it was dark. Now, some of you watched that video and the members only and said, why'd you call that dark? There's nothing dark. I think it's what happened. And like, well, it felt a little dark to me to suggest that somebody has fantasies of being kidnapped and had things done to them and maybe fantasized about that. That's a little dark for the main show. So there's more of the deep dive into the documents. Every single Sunday, I do a week ahead. I do a video for members only. So you can see I do a video where I talk about what's ahead for the week. So you can actually just hear me talk about it. Here's a teaser on the members only about that Dead Gods tattoo appointment that we got coming up. John Ray's interview, I talked about that on the live, and that was a members only. I did a sneak peek. I gave members, look at that. They got an hour. They got the whole hour and 25-minute video of John Ray and I, and they're going to have it for weeks before it goes live. That's a perk. It's going to go live for everybody for free. So don't worry, you don't have to pay to see it. But if you want it, if you just can't wait to see what I talked about John Ray about, you help me out by giving me a little extra money for helping out the channel. It helps the channel grow. But you're still going to get to see it for free. So you don't need to worry about that. And then the body worn camera. So I'm trying to get shit done. I'm super busy. I'm super, super busy. And then someone says, oh my God, Devil's Advocates, why are you not talking? Everybody is streaming right now. The body worn camera footage. Birdie's on streaming live. Atlanta's on there streaming live. And freaking everybody and their dog streaming live the body worn camera footage that just dropped. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, I got to go to bed. But no. So my ass got up, and I made these 3 videos, 1 hour each, breaking down the 1 hour of my initial thoughts as I went through it. So I didn't live stream it as many people did. I recorded it behind the scenes. I did not live stream it, and I posted it. A lot of you have watched that. Not enough, in my opinion, because it seems like these videos should have gotten a lot of traction compared to, every time you're talking about Idaho 4, it covers a lot of traction. But the problem is I broke my channel a while back, and YouTube's still not serving me up to a lot of new people. So it is what it is. I'll quit whining and bitching about that. All right. How are we doing on comments from the Peanut Gallery or the Devil's Den? Not the Peanut Gallery, the Devil's Den.
We're good. Everybody discussing everything from Vampire Diaries, still up tattoos. Yeah. Sleep is overrated, says one.
What is this? Come to think of it, I've never seen me and John Ray in the same room at the same time. I only saw him virtually in the same room at the same time. But the good news is John Ray has invited me to look him up when I get into New York and come meet him. So maybe I'll be in the same room at the same time with John Ray in real life. That'd be cool.
Well, we need a little live video of that.
Only if he allows it. Like I don't know how that's gonna go, but yeah, it would be very cool. Sleep is overrated. Yeah, this is coming from the vampire. This dude. One never freaking sleeps. Never sleeps. I wake up in the morning and he's already like, good morning. Why aren't you on shit? And then I'm late at night. I'm dragging my ass and he's like, how come you're not responding to the new documents that just dropped? I'm like, Jesus, dude, do you ever sleep? And he's got a job. Go work that out.
Crystal is wondering who I am.
Oh, she's like, why is this person on with him? I'll explain that in just a second. Chappie Boss watched all of my videos on the body cam footage, I believe. So thank you just for the channel. Thank you so much for watching that. So for those who want to know a little bit about Robin is one of my minions. I have a group of people who like the idea of the fact that I said, look, I was told a long time ago, you made it in life when you have minions. And they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Where are the minions? And so they adopted the name Minions with little small prompting. Anyways, she's one of the minions. But as it turned out, Robin has got a flair for organization, for writing skills, for managing kind of thing. That's just where her wheelhouse is. She likes to do that. And as she started to talk to me and said, hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? I'm like, why the hell are we not collaborating more? Like, you can keep my shit together, but I can't really pay you. And she's like, let's just work together. So we're working together. Robin's doing more and more shit for me behind the scenes. So please give a shout out to Robin and tell her thank you. She's doing it completely free of charge. And she's not just helping me, she's helping others as well. But Robin's got a skill for this and a passion for it. And one of the things I asked her to do is like, how do you feel about coming on and making sure I don't miss people's comments? Because that's one of the things I'm struggling with really bad is I'm not catching everybody's comments. And so that's why Robin's in here talking on audio, helping me catch people's comments, doing anything I ask within reason to kind of keep the show going in the right direction. So thank you so much for that volunteer time, Robin.
You are more than welcome. It's my pleasure, and I'm having a great time and love being in here with everybody. So thanks for the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. And John Ray is so interesting. Absolutely. John, we're just scratching the surface with John Ray. Chappie Boss dropping some more dimes on us. I'm going to hide DA in one of my sleeves. I love hidden messages and tattoos. I've in this tattoo of Alice in Wonderland, there's several hidden messages. Yeah, there's several hidden messages in that tattoo, including I took an image from the rabbit, the white rabbit with the clock, and I put the time. Here's just a little inside thing. I put the time on the clock as the exact time of the solar eclipse in 2017. It was that solar eclipse changed my life, and so I said, hey, I want the time on the clock to be specifically 10:15 a.m. I think is when the solar eclipse started, and so that's on the dial of it's just little symbolism in the tattoo, and I got a couple little hidden Easter eggs in my tattoos for that mean things to me. What else? Inside Your Bones says she has 2 sleeves and there's still room for DA. I mean, it's 2 letters. You can sneak that in somewhere. That's badass. All right. So what else? Jay Ray says, Robin, that you're their favorite disembodied voice. That's awesome. Disembodied just seems a little dark for a true crime channel. Disembodied. Oh yeah, if I ever wear a Raiders jersey, you may know it was difficult for me in a way, but I got over myself. I've always been a local guy, and I've always supported the local team. So I'm a Kraken fan. I'm a Mariner fan. I'm a Seahawk fan. Never got into the Seattle Thunderbirds hockey club. I was more Everett, Silvertips, and Tri-City Americans where I grew up. But I've always been a local guy, and it was painful because I really got into the Mariners when they were against the Yankees. When I was on with Pete Altieri from Murder Metal Mayhem, and he's a Yankees fan, I went out and bought a Yankees hat for the first time in my life and wore it for him because he had done something for me, put some branding on it for Seahawks, and I know it had to be, or not for the Mariners. So if he can take one for the team, I'll take one for the team. So I bought my first Yankees hat, and every once in a while I wear that Yankees hat and I slap myself like, what the fuck are you doing? It's the freaking devil. The Yankees are the devil. Anyways, Raiders jersey, let's put that on the back burner. That might happen. I don't hate the Raiders, and freaking Pete Carroll, I can't hate Pete Carroll. So that's not necessarily out of the question. All right. So let's see. What do we got? Catching up with stuff. This is how I wanted the Friday night show to go, by the way, just loose and fancy free. Go Colts. Go Colts. I never got into the Colts. But didn't the Colts have Manning, right? Anyways, that's horrible that I wouldn't know that. I should know that. All right. Oh, and Kimberly loved Alex Rodriguez, AKA, if you're the hardcore old-time Seattle Mariner fan, Payrod Alex Rodriguez, who got paid to go to the Yankees. Son of a bitch. Yeah, you want to know why I hate the Yankees? They freaking buy our players. They buy our, hey, who's the best shortstop in all of baseball? Alex Rodriguez? Let's fucking buy him. That's what the Yankees do. Makes me irritated. All right. So what else? Go Chiefs. I've had a long-standing thing with the Chiefs. We just routed the Chiefs in preseason. Seahawks did. I know you're like, why is this a thing? Here we are talking the after show, and we're talking football. Go Steelers. Where I was at in the Tri-Cities, everybody was a Steeler fan. I never understood it. I'm in Washington State, Eastern Washington, and the bar was full of Steeler fans. I found out later on, part of the reason being is because we had a large union of pipe fitters, and union workers tend to love the Steelers. All over the country, if you work for a union, you're a Steelers fan. So I got that now. Ichiro from the Mariners, fantastic player. Absolutely can't beat Ichiro. All right, so we're going off the rails. We're going off the rails. Penny, go Hawks. Thank you so much. Absolutely, go Hawks. Woohoo! I don't even know who's coming up. They got a Sunday game. I'm going to be under the knife or the needle or whatever you want to call it on Sunday, but I won't. So I got it recorded. Don't tell me the score. NHL. I was so sorry, guys. If you want true crime, I can't help it. I was so freaking excited about the Kraken. I damn near pissed myself. I loved junior hockey. I went to so many junior hockey games, and I'm like, why doesn't Seattle have a hockey club? It's ridiculous. And then they announced that Seattle was getting a hockey club, and there was this big thing about what the name was going to be. And for a short period of time, and I'll try to finish this rant, there was talk that the name of the club was going to be the Sockeyes. And I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, it's the dumbest fucking name ever. Do not call them the Sockeyes. Turned out, as I understand it, there was a romance novelist in Seattle area that wrote books about a fictional hockey club called the Sockeyes, and they ended up basically getting into an argument about whether they could use the Sockeyes because it was going to be too confusing with this person who wrote about a fictional hockey club called the Sockeyes, and they bagged the idea. Then the next best idea, which was the only thing that made any sense, was the Seattle Kraken, and I pissed myself. Best fucking name ever. Love it. Got Kraken gear. I was going to get a little bit too TMI. I get excited for the Kraken. So anyways, what else do we got? I want to hear DA's take on the Green River Killer. Man, it's been so long since I've covered, or I didn't cover the Green River Killer. It's been so long since I dived into that case. I would want to relook at it again. That killer, for some reason, I always felt like Ted Bundy was in our area as well, but I don't think Bundy was as much in our areas as well. But Green River Killer, I believe, was in our area. And it's just been a long time for me to give you thoughts on the Green River Killer. So I'm going to have to hold on that because it's been so long. Is that 30 years ago? More for the Green River Killer, but yeah, it's an interesting case. What else? Oh, Inside Your Bones needs a hockey club. Might I recommend the Seattle Kraken? It has really great gear, really great logo. You can't get any better than that big ass octopus shit. By the way, that caused a whole bunch of problems. Some Seattle fans who apparently have no imagination. Well, it's a fictional character. You can't have a mascot that's a fictional character. Where the fuck do you get these people? Anyways, so it is what it is. What else? I know you're like, how did this turn into a hockey sports club show? No, I'm not changing the format from Devil's Advocates to a sports show. I would do miserable at it. I'm good as a fan, not as a commentator of sports. Leah is recommending, I love this, make sure you go to DA's live and help DA fix his algorithm. Here's the biggest problem with the algorithm. People who already are following my channel are getting told about my new stuff. Who's not getting told about it very much is brand new people. The algorithm has not decided yet to push me to new people. So it's not like my videos aren't getting watched. They're just getting watched by everybody who already knows about me. So if there's any way you guys want to help this channel, it's get me out in front of somebody who hasn't seen the channel before. Put me on some kind of forum or a thread, or tell somebody, hey, if you like this guy, you might like this guy. put my name in front of somebody new. That'll help YouTube see that new people do like me and stick around. That's the big thing. Somebody has to see me and then like me and then stick around for YouTube to go, oh, when people check this guy out, they stick around. And then they'll be, let's see if I put them in front of more people. They stick around. So let's try to get that thing going if you give a shit about the growth of this channel. Are we not good enough? For fuck's sake. Come on. Of course you were good enough. Of course you are good enough. But I get a little bit more fired up the more people that are in here, right? I think I do. I think I get a little bit more fired up. It's embarrassing having John Ray on your show if 12 people show up. How much of an embarrassment would that be? That guy deserves a major audience. And Ali Benevento, who comes on my show quite often, needs a big audience. That's why I've been having Ali Benevento go on me with Birdie's show, because Birdie's audience is 10 times my audience when the two of us go together. When Birdie and I go together, it's kind of some kind of weird freaking magical sauce, little freaking leprechaun at the end of that gold rainbow. And so when Ali comes on, I have Ali go with me on Birdie's show. And in fact, that's why we're going to premiere John Ray with Birdie, because I don't want to embarrass John Ray. John Ray deserves a bigger audience. Same thing with Josh Zeman. If you don't know who that is, he's a documentarian who's on tour right now with his new documentary. It's something zoo. What was the point? 0 Point Zoo? From Ukraine, I think it is. Anyways, he's out touring that his new documentary in Los Angeles, I think, right about now. Anyways, Josh Zeman is going to set some time aside to do an interview with me coming up about the Killing season 1. What's so funny? Chappie Boss.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lie. Angela K's comment. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I can see every bump and curve. What the hell are we talking about there?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Big Ben. Big Ben's got himself in some trouble. I'll tell you that much. That guy's gotten himself in some trouble. Don't get in a bar with Big Ben unless you're a huge fan of Big Ben, if you get my meaning. Anyway, I dig when you're live on Murder, She Wrote. What? On Murder, She Wrote, Pete and that convict guy, pretty awesome menage a trois. Thank you so much. I got a ton of positive feedback from A.R. Hayes and Pete Altieri. There's a connection the three of us have, it seems like, on camera, and it was a great thing, and we've done it twice now, and everybody seems to really like it. So we'll keep doing that as long as as long as AR's in, and as long as the audience keeps loving it, we'll keep trying that out. What else? I can't believe we just called out Big Ben's package. Let's see.
Well, it is Freaky Friday, so
that was a little bit of a wicked laugh over there, Ramen. All right, let's see. Leah says, that's embarrassing. It's not embarrassing at all. It's actually amazing to see how great you are. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like, but you mean the interview guests that come on? It's great that the interview people seem to be happy with my interview skills, which is funny because I think I talk really, really fast. And sometimes I can see the person I'm interviewing gloss a little bit. Like, does that dude fucking ever stop talking? But it has worked out. I've had nothing but positive things from the people that I've interviewed. All right, what else?
And that will continue. And one day you'll be rich enough to buy your own football team and name it the Devil's Advocates.
Right, right. Yeah, as he was saying, Josh Zeman's new documentary film that he's out there touring on is Checkpoint Zoo. I'm actually a bit nervous to watch it because it seems to me it was about animal cruelty at a zoo, and I'm a big animal lover. And so while I know he's calling out the problems with it, if he shows animal cruelty, it's going to be hard for me. But it's important to document those things, and so I have mixed feelings about whether I can watch it, but I will tell you this: season 1 of the Killing season by Josh and was it Rachel that was with him? I forgot Rachel's last name. Anyways, fantastic series. You should watch that, especially if you want to get boned up on the Long Island serial killer case. As a heads up, episodes 5 and 6 probably didn't really need to be there for the Long Island piece, but super interesting stuff. But anyways, and then it goes back to episode 7 with Long Island again a little bit. What else? Do they talk faster in Oregon than California? Who knows? One day I'll get KFA. I'm working up the nerve. I'm working up the nerve to send some emails to some people. I give good email. I'll tell you that. I guess I give good email because my email caught John Ray's attention. My email caught Josh Zeman and his producer's attention. It was well crafted, and both of them are like, yeah, we'll do that. So when so in fact, Birdie and I got together because of an email. I sent Birdie an email, and he basically said the same thing. Dude, you give good email. Like, that was a great email. I wanted to know the human being behind the guy that wrote that email. So maybe we'll reach out. Maybe we'll reach out to maybe we'll reach out to some Moscow Police Department officers. Maybe we'll reach out to Ann Taylor. Maybe we'll reach out to, Karen Ignifilo. I don't know if she'll do an interview. She certainly can. I mean, look at how many people are doing documentaries on the other side of Luigi's case. They run their mouth all day long. So she can if she wants to. So I think I'll give it a shot. Isn't there a phrase that says something like, it never hurts to ask? I didn't learn that lesson in high school. That's why I never dated the pretty girls. Actually, I had a super hot smoking girlfriend in high school, so that's not true. But the point being is that there was a lot of girls I was super intimidated by, complete randomness, because I was too afraid to ask. And probably I wasn't good enough looking. But if you asked 20 girls, I bet you get 1 or 2 of them. So I should have done that. But anyways, and maybe if you ask 20 or 30 people in the true crime space, hey, you're a big name in this case, would you go on my show? Maybe 1 or 2 of them will say yes. Already 2 of them have said, 4 of them. I've had 4 big people on my show. So it's happening. All right. I ramble a lot.
That's why we love you.
I will say this. If you don't like what I'm doing and you're like, dude, you need to freaking chill and take some downers and get off your drugs or whatever, all that means is I need to recommend some other content creators that are probably more your speed. All right. Thomas Dickey. Yeah, I might try to reach out to Thomas Dickey. Thomas Dickey, Karen Ignifilo. I'll take a shot in the dark. I will do that. When I get past the Josh Zeman interview. My focus right now is getting the tattoo done tomorrow, which is a huge thing, getting prepared for Josh Zeman, and getting myself off to CrimeCon. But I think I can sneak in some emails in between CrimeCon.
You got to check out Lofty Morgan's comment.
This one, new DA merch. I give good email. I give good email. Yeah. All right. That's hilarious. All right. Well, we're late into this. I was going to show a few more things on screen. So here's a new thing that caught my attention. I'm going to still do some last minute talking to the people in the room if there's any questions, but this is intriguing me. The conversations with the killer, the son of Sam tapes. There's some new audio recorded of Berkowitz talking about his crimes from way back in the 70s in New York. I'm going to New York, so it's interesting to me. I'm going to watch this documentary. I may or may not. Here's the thing. I like to give my thoughts and my opinions about a documentary when I do. And when I have done it, it's been some of the best, most watched videos on my show. Usually, though, they're on the cases I'm following. So I did all the documentaries related to Luigi Mangione, did multiple documentaries related to Idaho 4. I read books about Idaho 4. And when I give those commentaries, those are my most watched videos. Now, this is not a case I'm following, but I might give my thoughts and opinions. If I don't think it's going to fit the main channel, it'll go into members-only content for some extra bonus material. Like, you want to hear what my thoughts are on the Confessions with the Killer, Son of Sam tapes. There was an article about it that I wanted to highlight a few things about. This is about that show, the true story behind the Conversations with the Killer, Son of Sam, talking about how it was 50 years ago, nearly 50 years ago in the 70s. It's an interview with Berkowitz, who's serving a life sentence in New York. Berkowitz is now 72 years old and has never shied away from media attention. He's given interviews. He used to taunt the officers, the police department, in letters like this one about, hey, please inform the detectives working on the case that I wish them the best of luck. Keep digging, diving, blah, blah. He taunts the police officers. Hey, if you catch me, maybe I'll buy you some shoes if I can raise some money. Pretty funny, interesting situation. Funny from a guy who's killing people. It's weird. It's just a weird thing, right? Anyways, talked a little bit about that, but at the end of the day, they're asked this question. I think this is the one. I actually think this case is a foundational case in our current and ever-growing obsession with crime. That's the thing I wanted to highlight the most out of it. True crime is booming right now. People love true crime. They're super into it. And I just did this because I thought it was my friend and I were talking about Luigi Mangione. That's when this launched. He was talking about Luigi Mangione, and he's like, that looked like a contract hit. And I'm like, that looked like some guy who shot somebody in the back from point blank range. You don't need to be a contract hitter to do that. And we got into a debate. And as I started to reveal to him some of my thoughts and my theories, he's like, dude, why aren't you on a YouTube channel talking about true crime? You freaking have amazing ideas. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll do that. And here I am. So, and then there was a question being asked about whether or not right here, the person, Berlinger, wrestled with whether to give a serial killer a platform. He thought viewers would learn from this answer. It just touched me so deeply, putting that message out there that can help somebody else realize that, hey, I'm feeling some sort of rage. I need to get help, empower people, encourage someone with a lot of pent up anger to seek help. That comment comes because Berkowitz said, hey, look, I feel bad about what I did. I was at a bad, dark time in my life and I had a lot of rage. And if I had just reached out to some people, I probably didn't have to kill people. And so what this guy is saying is, look, that message is a good message. Can we prevent a future serial killer if we can encourage people to open up and talk about things when they're having rage issues? Now, I don't know if that's going to help or not. But the point being is that maybe we can learn something from killers. Maybe we can learn something from having dialogues. Maybe that's why I write letters to Rex Heuermann, who may have killed hundreds of women, why I write letters to Luigi Mangione, why I write letters to Brian Koberger, because I want to get to know them and how they made those decisions. Well, how did you get to the point? If you did it, how did you get to the point that was a logical decision for you, so that we can understand that? And if at the end of the day it comes down to some people are broken, then some people are broken. But if there's something that we can see where it went wrong, we should learn from that. Ghislaine Maxwell is on my mind. I just want to let you know that the Jeffrey Epstein case, I wished I had started true crime with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh my God, that story was custom made for the Devil's Advocates. The Jeffrey Epstein story was amazing. I got some so right now they're arguing about whether or not Trump is going to give her any kind of clemency. And again, there's a lot of talk about they're covering up political people who were using underage women that Epstein was providing for top. That was what that was, I think, is a honeypot. A honeypot is where they were using politicians and high-level people and providing them underage girls and then using them because they were filming everything. Then they would basically entrap people, and then they would have power over politicians because they caught, hey, do you want it coming out that you were sleeping with the 14-year-old girl on camera? So it was a sting operation honeypot situation, I believe, from the very beginning. And part of what happened in this case is Jeffrey Epstein was silenced so that he wouldn't give out the list of people who did business with him. And there's some humongous names that have gone to Jeffrey Epstein's private island where young girls were offered to high-paying people. And so we don't even want to talk about it. Most of you who have followed the case already know some of those big names, which include politicians, which include presidents and former presidents. Enough said about that. Point being is that there's a reason why somebody might wonder, are you just going to get them clemency and let them get off on this thing? Because, you have to ask. One of the other things, and I'm not going to get into it. There's some mistakes in the article. There's some mistakes about people's understanding about what certain types of sex predator crimes are, but I'm not going to get into it because every single time I try to educate people on it, they get mad at me. But there's some inaccuracies in what people have said about Jeffrey Epstein. But anyways, enough of that. I was going to cover a few of those news stories and I was going to spend more time on that, but instead we spent more time talking as a group of friends, and I like that. Let's see if we got anything else. Robin, we got anything else?
No, just some back and forth about Berkowitz looking like Taxi Driver, and oh God.
Yeah, he does look like who does he look? He looks a little bit like, what was that actor on Taxi? He looks just like Berkowitz.
Yeah,
shit, the kind of Ukrainian guy.
Oh gosh, I
can't remember the character's name. Somebody in here's got to know. Andy, what?
Andy?
Yeah,
oh,
was
crap.
it Andy? Well, was it Andy Kaufman that did the role?
Yeah.
I think it was Andy Kaufman was the actor who looks a lot like, okay, shit, hold on. Andy Kaufman and Berkowitz. David Berkowitz. So there's Berkowitz. And there's Andy Kaufman. Yeah, there's Kaufman, right? That's Kaufman as well. Hold on, let's get Berkowitz up here. Where's Berkowitz? There's Berkowitz, right? Kaufman, Berkowitz. You see the connection?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, those guys look alike. All right. I don't know why I'm dumb. Remind me, Robin, I must clear my browser history before I start typing in addresses, because one of these days, the pre-populated list of things I've searched for is going to get frozen and searched, and they'll be like, oh my God, Devil's Advocates just searched for Vaseline, hamsters, and toilet paper rolls or something like that. I don't know what it is. I just made that shit up. But the point being, this is why that parental advisory label is on here. Whatever the case may be, you never think my search criteria is safe. I got to clear browser history before I go, hey, everybody, let's take a look at what's on my computer today. All right. Anything else? I did just make up those search terms for those of you who are like trying to search that shit up. Don't do it. I don't even know what you're going to find. Yeah, Kaufman totally could have played Berkowitz in a thing. What do you guys think about, by the way, out of curiosity? Here we go. I'm doing it again. Why am I not clearing my browser history? Delete browser data. Let's do that. Delete data. Let's just do that. Because I'm serious. Like one of these days, I'm going to type in something that's close enough that you're going to be like, oh, so you like that? All right. Let's see. Who was I going to look up? Luigi Mangione and Dave Franco. What do you think about these two guys? That's not the best comparison on that run. What do you think? What do you guys think? Is that close?
Nah.
Nah?
That's just me.
Well, see, here's the problem. In a picture that Franco had more stubble on his face, they looked very, very similar. But anyways, Dave Franco has been approached to play Luigi Mangione. Well, sorry, he's not been approached. Somebody floated the idea on the internet that Dave Franco, if they ever do a movie about Luigi Mangione, Dave Franco has to play him. And he said, no one has approached me about it, but I would be up for that if they did it. Close, but not close enough. Well, again, put a little stubble on him, do a little trimming of some things, and I bet you they can get Dave Franco to look pretty freaking close. Come on. It's a little close. It's not as close as Hostel and Jake Gyllenhaal. The Hostel video, the picture of Luigi Mangione compared to Jake Gyllenhaal. So here's Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And you look at him and Luigi, Hostel, image. Here we go. That right there, I swear, that's Jake Gyllenhaal right there at the Hostel. If you're looking for the shooter in New York, I'm pretty sure you need to find out where Gyllenhaal is doing a movie at, and you'll probably get it. So anyways, I digress. Some random shit from the Peanut Gallery on Friday night's show. Any other? Mean Mama comes in. I just made it as I'm getting ready to wrap up. Mean Mama, you are so at the tail end. However, give me a question. Fire something at me. Tell me what you're here for. I'll answer something because I want to reward you for showing up. Showing up late, at least you showed up. It's perfect. James Marsden. Oh, James Marsden is closer to Luigi Mangione. You think so? Is it James Marsden? I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know that he's closer to Luigi Mangione. Again, with makeup and the right hair and hair. Oh, that was a pretty good picture that they showed a minute ago. Yeah, I could see it. If under the right circumstances, you can get Marsden to look like Mangione. Oh, you think the Hostel image looks more like Marsden? Okay, good. Yeah, we need to do a special sometime on serial killer doppelgangers. What people today, what actors or actresses today could double as playing a part of famous serial killers. That might be a fun game to do sometime. That sounds like something we should do on the After Dark party or on a Friday, because Friday is a little bit like that. Friday, you know what? Friday will be that kind of thing, and then we move it into the After Dark to make it one step further. Yeah. So, like the story that one of my users came up with, a game that we can't even say. Then it was, oh God, I can't even say it. We had a game on a Friday After Dark thing that we can't even say on the main show. Okay, last minute thoughts. Did we get that comment? I told somebody when they came in here. Well, who was it? It was our new person, Mean Mama. Mean Mama, do you have a comment? Didn't you say you just came here, got in here at the last minute? Do you have something you want to throw at us? Talking about the Idaho 4 case. Me and Mom was talking about all the that shows that there was a cleanup. I believe there's 100% that crime scene makes no sense. There has to have been a cleanup. I think there was a cleanup. There's a new Michael Myers game coming out. I know about a game that is kind of like a Michael Myers game. It's like a multiplayer game, video game, where you can choose to be one of 4 people hunted, or you can play the killer who hunts them down, and you can play various killers, one of which I think kind of looks like Michael Myers. So I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, or if there actually is a new video game coming out. That's interesting. Heather, we did talk about this a little earlier. Did you see the cops were touching all the railing and sliding their gloves all over the place? Amateurs. Yes, we did talk about that. And again, their argument would be, gee, you know, nothing happens. That was Dylan's words. Nothing happens in Moscow, Idaho. So they're not used to big murder scenes, and they didn't know how to handle that crime scene. I don't know that that really makes sense, but that was their argument. There was a lot of mistakes. I don't want to be super critical of the law enforcement in that case, but when there's some glaring errors, I'm all over that shit. So that one just seemed to be a quote unquote rookie mistake. What else do we got? My phone capacity is at 568 capacity percent. Yeah, that's a little hard to do. Friday the 13th. Oh yeah, Friday. So I think when they were talking about the Michael Myers game, they're talking about Friday the 13th. I still want to know what that game is. Robin, thank you for shouting out to our Facebook. Please understand, by the way, all the other channels and platforms are doing, we're trying to get them going. I've got an Instagram account. I've got a Facebook account. I've got a TikTok account. I've got a Substack account. I've got, there's something else in there. I got a YouTube account. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. Anyways, we've got a lot of social media platforms, but we're not picking up anywhere on there yet. Hopefully we will, or at least hopefully for me, we will. I think if you're a fan of the show, you hope that I get a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe you all want to be a small, intimate gathering, and maybe that works out. I'm having fun, regardless of whether it's a small, intimate gathering, but all of us have ideals of like, let's get bigger, let's do bigger things. Let's get crazy. But, you know, as long as we don't forget where we started. Jeremy Pearson says, good to see you, Lee. We're styling in the Seahawks apparel. Yeah, man, that's awesome. I love it. I can't wait for this season. I have high hopes for this season. As much as I love Pete Carroll, I'm looking forward to seeing this second year of McDonald and see if we can turn the corner on what has been kind of like a lackluster while. It's been a while. It's been a minute now. Other clubs, however, are worse off than the Seahawks. Don't even have a shot at the Super Bowl. So we consider ourselves lucky there.
Thank you, Angela.
What happened with Angela? Did Angela drop us a gift?
She did.
Angela dropped us a gift. Angela K, my favorite group of YouTube peeps. Thanks for the giggles tonight. Absolutely. Thank you so much. By the way, one thing I hear a lot, and I don't like to toot my own horn, but one thing I hear a lot is people enjoy when I'm doing the deep dives on the legal documents or the deep dives on police reports that I take dry material and make it entertaining. So hopefully you agree that I interject some humor from time to time. I can't help myself. I find a lot of shit funny. And I've got a lot of pop culture references. A lot of them show my age. So sometimes you're going to have to look shit up. Like, what the hell is he talking about? But anyways, if you're of my age, and a lot of my users, I think, are my age, then you do get my pop culture references, and that makes it kind of fun. OnlyFans? I don't know where that what I don't have on this platform is an OnlyFans account, but thanks for asking. That's hilarious.
That could get pretty freaky.
Get to watch Jalen Milroe tomorrow. Is he going to start as the quarterback for the Seahawks, or is he coming in? I think has he done any on-field time? I mean, Locke's been in there, and so I think I saw Milrow, but is he going to start? Is he going to start on the game? Get more time on that one. I feel like he's done a quarter or two, right? Anyways, here we are doing this.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Jeremy.
He sent a membership.
Devil's Advocates membership. Thank you so much, Jeremy Pearson, for helping out again. If you had those things turned on, I wonder how many people got free memberships tonight. We've handed out a few tonight, so thank you so much for the people who are dropping gift memberships like it's a bad habit. I appreciate that a lot. It helps a lot of people get a chance. And again, let me remind you, it has marginally to do with true crime. Tomorrow, I'm going to get might be an 8 to 9 hour tattoo. They're literally saying if we close at 9, if we start at noon, we close at 9, but if we need to go late, we'll stay late and get it done. So it could be longer than 9 hours. I have no idea. I have no idea what my pain tolerance is going to be once we get past 4 hours. I've never been past 4 hours. So that'll be interesting to see. I guess as long as they keep moving into new skin, I'll be okay. Working over the skin they've already worked can be a brutal. But anyways, where I'm going with the membership is I'm planning on streaming the tattoo appointment with a couple of big artists to promote their tattoo shop, and they're cross promoting their work for the Devil's Advocates to their people, and it's going to be a cool thing. If you want to watch that and just drop in from time to time when you're not watching all the other content creators talking about real shit, you can drop in and see what the progress is on my Devil's Advocates tattoo, which even I don't know what it looks like. I gave them 3 concept photos. I said, this is what I want to go for. And here's a couple of reference photos that looks like the style I want to go in. And they said, cool, see you Saturday. And I'm like, but what's it going to look like? See you Saturday. So we'll see. All right. What else do we have? Zach says Milrow's playing the entire game tomorrow. Fantastic. Looking forward to seeing that. Love it. I'm looking through to see if we get caught up before we say goodnight. So
yeah, I think so.
I want to ask one favor of you all who are members. And even if you're a new member, now this might be a trick for a new member because you just became a member and you don't even, and freaking Chappy Boss dropped something at the end. I'm trying to fucking wrap up here, sir. Just kidding. I'm never complaining about dropping gifts. Thank you so much. Here's one for the channel. Can I get a big Ric Flair? Woo! Okay, that's close enough. So you definitely did get a Ric Flair. I wasn't even a super Ric Flair fan. I don't even know where the hell that came from, but I gave you my best Ric Flair. So here we go. After we're done, I'm going to shut this stream down. I'm going to schedule on YouTube a members only live stream. And then I'm going to turn that live stream on for members only. And I'm going to see if you guys who are members can join that live stream. And conversely, if you're not a member, can you get into my live stream and see me? Because I want to make sure that's a members only thing. The only reason I'm doing it members only is it really is not appropriate for everyone to get their introduction to what the Devil's Advocates is about by watching me lay on a tattoo table for 9 hours. That is not a good example of what I do on this show. So it's for members only. It's bonus content. So if you guys want to hang out, anybody wants to hang out afterwards, give me long enough to shut the stream down, go take a potty break. Hey, if somebody else can tell us, I just went to the bathroom, I can tell you I'm going to go to the bathroom on my video. Thank you very much, by the way, for that earlier tonight, telling us about going to the bathroom. That was amazing. I also am going to go hit the bathroom. And then I will come back and I will start the members only live stream. I hope to see you guys there. Thank you all for hanging out with me on a Friday night. Normally I go into Discord right now and I do the after dark party and we have drinks. I'm not going to do any drinking. I'm keeping alcohol out of the system. I'm keeping myself hydrated with lots of fluid, making it so that my skin is soft as a baby's butt for that tattoo artist, because that is the secret of the success. So your skin does not push the ink back out. All right, shutting this down. Hope to see some people on the live stream test right after this. Take it easy, everybody. Have a good weekend. Are you still there, Robin?
Mm-hmm.
I got a weird message. When I hit, hold on, I might still be live. I'm still live. Huh. I can't seem to end this thing. So I'm going to just have to, we're still kind of live right now. So be careful what you say. Don't say anything embarrassing. I'm going to kill the entire feed a different way.
I'm still here, I think. True Crime with Robin. He's gonna kill me. It was a dark and stormy night.